going on, everyone? The F1 pit stop here, and today we're going to be talking about these two cars. As always, subscribe for more F1 content coming your way. We're not going to talk about these two 2021 cars, McLaren and Ferrari, but they're 2022 cars, and specifically all the improvements they've made and how much they've improved compared to the other teams. Let's hop right into it. Okay, now I saw this tweet from Sky Sports F1 that reads out, "Ted's been busy answering your questions, and no doubt this one will please the McLaren and Ferrari fans out there." And then it's a quote from Ted Kravitz, who's an F1 commentator, that says, "Undoubtedly, McLaren and Ferrari," when Ted was asked on being which team has made the biggest step up from last year. Now, you might know McLaren and Ferrari from the 2021 season being the third and fourth place team that were battling each other the entire time, but never really had a chance to go 1 and 2. That was never even a thought. That was always between Mercedes and Red Bull. That being said, the word undoubtedly makes a huge difference here when Ted says it, having been able to see all these cars in person and during the live timings. And during those preseason testings, both Ferrari and McLaren were setting blistering fast times, up there with the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes. At times, Charles Leclerc having the fastest times of that session. And also, it's really consistent that both cars were running Ferrari ran the most laps out of any constructor, as well as Daniel Ricciardo having the second most laps out of any driver. So these cars are built to last, and they're going to be reliable during the season. The new season also brought a ton of different regulations that almost set up all the constructors to have to start from scratch. Obviously, Mercedes has such an advantage of building the best cars for the past, 8 to a crazy amount of years. But all these regulations mean it really is anyone's game, especially now that teams have budget limits. It makes it more of a level playing field. Looking at Ferrari, it's such an aggressive nose as well as some insane side pods on that car. With the McLaren, you're not getting anything too revolutionary as far as a crazy design here or there, but Daniel Ricciardo has been stated saying that the car feels really good right out the bat, just with the initial testing, so that's very promising for McLaren. I really believe that this 2022 season is where we don't just see 1 and 2 teams, Mercedes and Red Bull, competing for the Constructors or Drivers' Championship, but we also see McLaren and Ferrari bridging that gap to make it a 4-team race for the win, each and every race. Now let's take a look at the drivers. I'd like to compare Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc together, and Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz together. Starting with Leclerc and Norris, I believe that Norris has more talent, but last season Ferrari had the better car, especially the back half of the season. They made some upgrades that McLaren just could not keep up with. If McLaren does step up their car and they figured something out here, or maybe Ferrari's design risks don't pay off like Ferrari's intending them to, we can see Norris's skill and aggressive driverness really make a difference, and that can be the deciding factor for a McLaren victory over Ferrari. Then Sainz and Ricciardo aren't the best comparison, especially since Ricciardo has been in F1 longer. Sainz has been in between Ricciardo and Lando Norris for the amount of time he's been in F1, but there really is no doubt to his consistency and his skill, as he was the highest driver in the driver rankings last season, that for someone who wasn't part of Red Bull or Mercedes, which were just leagues above Ferrari and McLaren. Daniel Ricciardo is one of the favorites, especially here in the States. His personality has really made him someone that people tune in every week and keep up with, just looking to see what he has to say, which is usually some funny remark. But I will say he has been lacking, especially since he's went to Renault and then McLaren. Is just his performance hasn't been there. And maybe this is the year with a car he said right out the bat is pretty great that he'll be able to make something happen and show us once again, like when he was at Red Bull, that he really is a phenomenal driver when given a great car. Anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on this. I'm a huge Ferrari fan. Kind of clicked with that team as soon as I started watching F1, so I really do hope for the best, and I do think the more teams that are up there competing for that 1 and 2 spot, the more competitive and the more fun it will be to watch every single week and see these two teams compete. Best of luck to Ferrari and McLaren in this upcoming 2022 season. Thanks for watching.